Hey, what's going on, guys? This morning, we're going to talk about the difference between using a mixer and an AI, an audio interface. Now, they both serve a purpose, but if you're going to be recording more than two people or two items, the mixer is not the way to go. You need to invest in the audio interface. So, here we are up in one of the communities. Somebody sent me a notice if I could come up here and check it out. And this is what we're going to do. Now, I'm going to click on the link and we're going to go to that website. And I'm going to read this. We recorded this podcast over Google Hangouts on December 1st, 2017. That's your first mistake, brother. Stay away from VoIP systems, Voice over Internet Protocol. And I'm going to show you why with your own recording. 3 guests were in studio with ATR 2100 microphones going into a Mackie Pro FX8 V2 mixer and recorded in Audacity. That's your third and your fourth mistake. The mixer, when you have more than 2 inputs, is the wrong way to go. And recording into Audacity is absolutely ludicrous. Now, the remote guest had some sort of conference call speaker microphone combo unit. This unit had good but not great quality. The volume levels were very consistent. The local guest had a great deal of volume level variation, so I need to correct that. You need to make sure on your input levels, whether you're using a mixer or whether you are using an audio interface, you need to be between a -12 and a -18 dBs. This is your best noise to signal ratio for recording digital audio. Whether it's music, speech, vocals, it just doesn't matter. There is also a good deal of background noise that I would like to remove. But when I use the built-in noise removal in Adobe Audition, it adds a hiss to everything else. Now, here I can't help you. Okay, I don't deal with Adobe Audition, but Mike Murphy does. Just Google Mike Murphy CO on YouTube, and this is the guru that deals with Audition. I also think I need to increase the volume on the whole thing so it's standardized at a 16 LUFS. And you are correct, because when I downloaded your file, it's around a -32, maybe -31 LUFS. We'll see here in a second. I'd appreciate anyone who could offer tips on how to tackle this audio editing problem. If you want to make a screencast of your workflow in Audition, that would be amazing. Well, brother, it's going to be in Reaper, okay? I don't know if it's going to be amazing or not, but I promise you it should help you out, all right? Now, let's go ahead and jump over to Reaper where I have your file set up. Okay, so here we are over in Reaper. Now, your original file, like I said, it's a -31.8 LUFS. Your loudness range is 11.4. Now, the AES, the Audio Engineering Society, recommends it be no more than 4 dBs. Now, up here, it says no VIP systems. I want you to listen to this. Okay? This is due to what's called heavy compression, and this is how VoIPs work. So let's go ahead and just listen to that.
Hey, there's a lot of layers to that question.
And I apologize for
No,
those.
it's okay.
I shellacked a little bit between each one too.
It's okay. So I'm going to start with.
Now, could you hear that twang in there? Okay, you hear that heavy compression? Well, you got lucky on this particular one because I get dozens of emails a month. Dana, how can I correct this? You can't. Once it's recorded, you're stuck with it. Now, on the original file, I just wanted to put in here for a comparison. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this file now. We don't need it anymore. So what I have now is I've taken your original file and I had to go through and start splitting it. And this is what it looks like. I had to separate the male host from the first female host, from the second female host to the third female host. You have to address each track individually. Okay? It's just the way it is. Now over here on the last thing, I have a compressor bus. Don't worry about that. All I'm doing is taking all these vocals and running it to one compressor. From there, I'm going to jump over to the master, run it through another compressor, a master limiter, a DC filter, and then the audio statistics is just something that we can look at. Okay? So right now, I'm going to take and highlight every one of these tracks, except the compressor bus. And I'm going to normalize these now to a negative 18 LUFS. Now, this is going to take a second, and we'll be right back. Okay, so now that we've normalized them, let's go ahead and look at these markers that I have set here. There's two things I'm going to set. This is my noise reduction tool in Reaper. It's absolutely flawless. And then we're going to apply a gate, and then we're going to apply an EQ. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on the first track. I'm going to bring this up, and up here you can see where I have it set, Reefer, track 1. So I'm going to come up and create a window. I'm going to loop it. I'm going to click this box, and now I'm going to play it, and that's going to build me a noise profile for this particular track and this track only. Okay, there's my noise profile. So at this point, I'm going to uncheck it. I'm going to come to my second marker. Let me make this just a little bit bigger. Set gate track 1. I'm going to create another window. I'm going to loop it. Now let's go ahead and just listen to this. This is the breathing from the host. Now we're going to bring up the gate. It's gone. Now the EQ is simply a stock wide male vocal. At this point, I'm going to come to the second track. And let's go ahead and listen to that. And what this is the noise floor, okay, of this track. Now, your noise floor can be where you have your equipment plugged into, any electrical interference, any buzz that's coming through your microphone, dogs barking in the background, traffic going by. Anything that's combined is going to produce your noise floor. So let's go ahead and listen. Look at the numbers over here. Okay? You can see where it's coming out. You hear that static? Okay, now remember, we've just about doubled the volume when we went from the negative 31 LUFS to the negative 18 LUFS. And plus, we're also doing compression. So let's go ahead and bring up the reefer. We're going to set it and build the noise profile for this track. See that? Now it's gone. Now, this is the wonderful thing about this. I can sit here and play this now, and I can adjust this if I think it's going to interfere with my audio. You cannot do this with Audacity. Okay, but let's just watch it on the graph.
Bringing the heart back into the classroom.
Okay, now it is just a little high. So I hit Control, left mouse click, and I'm just going to drag it down about 2 dBs. Now, set gate for track number 2. Same thing, we're going to open a window. Or create a window, however you want to say it. And I'm going to bring up the gate, and let's listen. That's her breathing. That's her breathing gone. Now you want this gate set to where it just barely comes on, okay? Pause the video. Look at these numbers I have for my gates that I use. Okay, same thing when we get over to the compressor. Now, we can go ahead and stop that. And let's go over to track number 3. And we're going to repeat this process. And we have to. If you want to produce quality audio, this is what you're going to have to do. Now, a lot of mixing and mastering engineers get upset with podcasters because they think all you have to do is walk up, turn on the mic, and then do the show, okay? But if you want to produce professional audio, you're going to go through this process. Same thing. Let's go ahead and do it again. And there we are. So we'll uncheck the box. And now we're going to come over here and set the gate. Okay, so now we've got that track done. So now we're going to come over to our last track. Whoop, sorry about that, guys. My mouse wheel's a little... actually, I just got a new mouse. That's another thing. You can buy, like on my scroll wheels, to where it doesn't click. It's a clickless mouse. And that way, if I'm doing stuff for audiobooks or whatever I'm doing, I don't have to go in there and then take those out again. So we're going to go ahead and set it here. We'll turn this on. Same process. Let's go ahead and listen to the audio before. Okay, now that's a pretty loud breath there, so let's go ahead. We want to make sure that we really fine-tune our gate on this. Okay, now, it doesn't matter since I've got all these tracks to a -18. Now I'm going to come in, let me turn this off, and I'm going to adjust my first compressor. Again, pause the video, look at these numbers. What I do not want to happen is I do not want to go past 6 dBs on my compression. Okay, so let me go ahead and just take the makeup and this output gain off.
Episodes out there, and we thought about splitting this up into in 2 episodes, but we thought it'd be best just to leave it. So, number 1, want you to know that obviously in a podcast you can pause and come back, and pause and come back, maybe save it for a long drive.
So now we're going to come over to the second compressor. This is called parallel compression. Okay, I don't want the one compressor to have to do all the work. So let's go ahead and adjust this one now.
That obviously in a podcast you can pause and come back, and pause and come back, maybe save it for a long drive, or just when you have some time, or if even so, just pause and come back. But and as we reflect back on this conversation that we had with Betsy Delzer on December the 1st, we realized that a lot of our conversation...
So what I'm going to do now is I'm simply going just to turn the FX off, and we're going to listen to just a little bit of that again. And then I'm going to turn them back on, and we'll render this file, and we'll analyze it and see what we get.
That obviously in a podcast you can pause and come back, and pause and come back, maybe save it for a long drive, or just when you have some time, or if even so, just pause and come back. But and as we reflect back on this conversation that we had with Betsy Delzer on December the 1st,
okay, guys, so you can see there is a tremendous difference.
Obviously in a podcast you can pause and come back, and pause and come back, maybe save it for a long drive, or just when you have some time, or if even so, just pause and come back. But and as we reflect back on this conversation,
but you have to address each track individually. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and turn these back on, and I'm going to render the file. And once I get the file rendered, then I'll come back on with the video, and we can watch it as we go through and analyze it together. There's our new file. So we'll come up to Extensions, Loudness, and we're going to analyze the selected track. Now, keep in mind, our loudness range, our LRA, I think was 11.4, and we're at a negative 18 LUFS. I'm going to grab this option. I'm going to go ahead and measure the true peak, and I'm going to say analyze selected track. Again, it's going to take just a second, and we'll be right back. Okay, guys, so as you can see, the track AI, it's a negative 17 LUFS. Our loudness range is a 4.1. Our true peak is a negative 1.0. We have now met the suggested recommendations from the Audio Engineering Society. Okay? That is the difference between a mixer and an audio interface. You must be able to address each track individually, to mix them together, to master them into the parameters you're looking for. All right? Take care. God bless. And we are out of here.